was the local pharmacist, my mother was a stay-at-home mom, and everybody knew my dad. And we often would take meals to people who were sick or shut in or had a death in the family. We would often take people to church that didn't have rides. We would often have people over for holiday meals that didn't have a place to go. We would, it was just very common to have people around all the time. My mom would fix spaghetti every time it snowed, so we might have 30 people at my house. Every time it snowed, they would just show up. We didn't have to invite them. I had all these teenagers show up after prom to eat waffles. I didn't even know a lot of them. So I grew up with that kind of thing, and it seemed very normal to take food and to do things and be hospitable. And I grew up, we got married and we had our own family, and I continued to do that, but it didn't hit me what it really meant to people until I was on the receiving end. And we had our children in 1992, and certainly used some food, and we had people bring food to us that I had never met. People from the church that we attended brought us food. They knew we were members of the church. They knew we had twins in the house. They showed up at my house with food. People that I worked with had relatives who brought me food. I had never met any of these people. I was blown away. Besides knowing how wonderful it was to have a nice meal that I did not have to cook, I didn't have to clean up, I didn't have to return anything, but I realized that I could see the love of Jesus in all these people. They didn't know me. They were just sharing their love and their gifts with me and with my husband and with anybody else who happened to be there. So I thought, I can cook. I can't decorate. I'm not a really great leader, but I can read a recipe and I can cook and I can do this for other people. I would always say it's love from the kitchen. When I'm bringing food, it's love from the kitchen, but it's really love from Jesus and me from the kitchen. So I wanted them to see that, see Jesus in them bringing me food. I wanted people to see Jesus in me. So in the scripture where Jesus was on the road to Emmaus, and he was, at the beginning of it, he was the guest in the home. But by the end, Jesus was the host. And I sort of feel like that kind of thing happened with me. I had done it before. I cooked for people before, but until I was the guest and realized, wow, this is great. I want to do this for somebody else. I want to be the host. Then I was able to turn it around and use the gifts that Jesus has given me to be the host for others.